So the second system we're going to be developing is the instant response system. And what an instant response system really is imagine there's a customer, Mike, who sees your ad on Instagram or whatever, then they fill up a form. Now we want to make sure we contact them, right? And just to show you the importance of this, check this out. This quote from Alex Hermosi, where this guy was closing 55% of his leads. And the only reason he was doing that is because he was paying an employee 60K a month, and their only job was to call any leads within 60 seconds. They were getting 2 to 3 leads a day and doing nothing but just calling them that fast. Success loves speed, right? What we're trying to do here is build a system for any business really fast without having any technical skills. So let me show you this to make sure that everyone that opts in is qualified to work with the company. They're educated on what the company actually does, and then they're ready to act. This seems easy on paper, but you want to get a bit better at this where you're kind of like, if you call them once, they miss it, you call them again, all this stuff. Normal people, they will have a lot of trouble doing that. So what we did was right here, we took Hermosi's strategy from his books, right? And we built pre-built templates, which are automatically going to be applied right as you build the systems. So let me show you how that works and how easy that is to build. So let's build a speed to lead system. And to do that, you do the same thing. You go to Booked AI, the system builder, and then you hit create system. And then let's hit instant response. And let's call this the IRS because nobody likes the IRS. Then we can select a couple different channels. So for now, because we've worked with voice, let's also work with voice. Because we already imported our number in the last step, let's just import the same number. And we can also create a new agent. So let's call it form chaser Tom. Because what we want to do with these instant response systems is someone fills a form, we chase them by calling them, qualifying them, etc. So company bookedin.ai. Should I call your assistant? Form chase Tom. We automate responses for marketing agencies to qualify if the company has adequate or sufficient lead response system or if they're looking to get this done for their business. Okay, that's a website. And same thing as before. If you enter this website, it's going to go learn from your website, scrape the data from there, no additional context. And because last time I showed you how to connect calendars and some tools, let's just select Google Calendar and continue with this one app. So this now will be attaching your agent to your tool, basically. Okay, so this takes a second. So now it's generating the strategy and I'll show you what that means. So this is the biggest part. Now what we have to do is, let me open up the whiteboard, is essentially, let's say somebody fills in some data in a form. Pardon my drawing. Let's say this is a form. What we want to do is give that data to our agent, like form chaser Tom, right? So the person that filled out this data, Tom can go call them, qualify them, and then book a meeting with them. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Let's open up any form builder. People use Typeform. I highly suggest you use something like uform. Let's create a form. Let me log in. New form, blank form. Let me connect contact information. Let's use this block. Cool. And now let's publish this. Okay, now let's copy this and then open up this form. And I'm just testing it right now. And that's what they want you to do. So I'm going to fill in my information and then hit submit. So this is just the first submit. Now that we submitted the form, let's integrate this form with our agent, all right? And to do that, let's hit integrate. And then there's this thing called webhook. And webhook just means we are going to send this data to our agent. So we're going to hit connect. If we go back to booked in, you're going to see this URL. So you send your lead data here. And what you do is boom, you hit copy, you go to uform, you go here, you paste it in, you hit test this webhook, and wait a second, and it's going to say webhook not working. That's something with uform. I don't know why. But you hit refresh and you'll see the form captured. Okay, now what we want to do is make sure we have the right fields mapped. So I'm going to delete these. They're most likely wrong. And hit add mapping and then hit here so we can see the structure of the data we're getting. And then let's say email, and here we do email. So now we're just matching the right fields. So last name, lead last name, first name, lead first name, and phone number, lead phone number. Cool. So now that that's done, let's hit finish system. It's going to save it. Awesome. This is saved and it just created the system. Cool. Okay, we're good to go now. Now let's see the system in action. So a couple different things I want to show you. Now what's going to happen is if I fill out this form, now, oh, whoops, I should not have done that. Submit. Okay, so you'll see webhook saved. Now what happens if you open this form and let's fill this out. And thank you. And you'll see in a little bit. Oh, there we go. So I'm getting a call.
Mr. Tom from BookedIn.ai. How are you doing?
You'll see it's that fast where it just calls you immediately. Of course, you can change the timing if you'd like back in here. But right now, a couple things is now you literally have a system and a form where you fill out a form and it will automatically call you. But this is something cool that I want to show you. So if I hit this button right here, configure, you'll see this open up. And what this is this is the strategy the agent is going to follow. And what that means is immediately Tom is going to try to call them. If you want to add a wait node or make it a little slower, you can do that. And then, if they don't respond, which is very normal, they're going to wait 2 hours. They're going to call them again and then whatnot. And we can do this with multiple channels if you need. For example, if you put in SMS or WhatsApp, Gmail, whatever, you could do that. So that is the strategy that it's going to follow to make sure these people are followed up with over time. And then what I want to show you is, let's say you don't like what Tom is saying. So you can open up the hood for Tom and you can just, change his prompt around to make sure he's saying the right thing. And if it's hard for you to do this prompting, you can just enter what you need to be done by Tom here and it will automatically edit the prompt for you. Okay. So that's about it in terms of understanding how to build these speed to lead type of instant response systems. And let's move on to the third system.